There is a massive issue with Chelsea currently. If you did not watch the game yesterday against Wrexham in the FA Cup, it was blatantly obvious. And that is the fact that they have absolutely no depth right now, which, if you're thinking about this for Chelsea, how much money they've spent. You're telling me their B team can barely get a win over Wrexham. And yes, I understand. Wrexham has been playing well. They're doing great in the championship. They've been promoted season after season. And there's a possibility they could make the playoffs and get promoted into the Premier League. But that is a far away right now. But the fact is, in this match for Chelsea, Liam Rossinier tried to rotate some players, and yet with that rotation, saw them go down one goal in the early first half. This is, again, ridiculous when you think about it. The players that were playing for Chelsea, you're thinking Tosin, Shield, Hato, Achipong, all these guys, when you hear their name, it doesn't even scream top class, high class, anything along those lines. But when you think about other clubs, such as Arsenal, such as City, such as Liverpool, even Manchester United, with the depth that these teams have, they can bring on multiple different players, and you know that they are going to step up into that role. That is not the case with Chelsea, and this could be a massive issue for them, not just yet this season, but obviously going into future seasons. And I understand the board, the whole crew, what they want to do here is buy young players and build them up so that they can be great players in a few couple of seasons. The problem with that, though, is that some of these players are not adapting well, and they aren't getting the time frame that they should be playing. Liam Rossinier and even Enzo Maresca had to use the same players over and over, and because of that, these other younger players aren't getting game time. You think about Jamie Gittins, we barely have seen him this season. Last year, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, we barely saw him in the league itself. We only saw him in the Conference League, and now he's doing well at Everton, and good for him. But the problem is that a lot of these players cannot adapt and then all of a sudden start playing up to the level that they should be playing. Yes, you could argue some of these players can do it, Santos being one of them. I would say Lavia is another player, but he's been out pretty much injured the entire season. But if you're thinking about the rest of the squad, it's a massive drop-off. You're thinking João Pedro to Liam Delap, and yes, I understand, Liam Delap did play well against Wrexham, but yet he's still not scoring goals when we need him to score goals. Link of play, yes, has been working out, but we still need him to be an out-and-out striker for us. Then you're thinking about wingers. Yes, Garnacho played well in this game, but he hasn't really done well in the league itself. He's done well in the cup games, but that's against championship teams, League One sides, that again, we should be winning those games and looking so much better. I would say Pedro Neto, yes, he's been playing well this season, but if you're thinking about the players after those guys who need to play in those positions, like I said, Jamie Gittins, he is not doing the job. Nico Jackson, he does come back from the Bayern Munich loan, maybe he can step into that role, but there's really no out-and-out second position that we have in those spots. And this makes it very difficult for Chelsea. Even when you look at the midfield, obviously we're typically going to go with Enzo, Caicedo, Cole Palmer in that midfield, which, yes, that is a stacked midfield. But what we just said earlier, yes, we have Santos, yes, we have Lavia, but that's it. If those guys are also hurt, which they were pretty much most of the season, that is a problem for us because we do not have any other one else we can bring into the squad currently. And this, again, is going to have massive issues further down the road for Chelsea unless they figure it out this summer going into the transfer window, obviously after the World Cup, because this can make a massive difference for how the future of Chelsea actually plays out. Because if you're thinking about, again, the current starting 11 is good. It's a very good sign. The problem is that they pick up red cards, they pick up injuries, they also need rest. We need more key players that can be rotational players that we can definitely rely on and also push the starting 11 up higher. We used to have this back in the early 2000s, the late 2000s, because all these players that we had played for national teams. They were captains of their national teams. They were all these ultra all-stars that really kept pushing each other, and the team was so much better. But that is not the case, what we've been seeing as lately at Chelsea. And yes, like we said just earlier, they are trying to push these players and get them better and better, and obviously build chemistry with them as time continues. But this is still a work in progress, and we are now, 4 seasons into this work in progress, and we still have not really seen any huge benefits in the league itself. Yes, I understand. We won the Conference League. We won the Club World Cup. Those are 2 big wins for Chelsea. But the stature of Chelsea is that we should be aiming for the Champions League. And yes, we're still in that, but we should also be aiming for the Premier League. And we haven't been anywhere near that in the last handful of seasons. And it's not going to happen again this season. Maybe it happens next season. Who knows? But we still need to go out and get different players to help us fit that role. This season for Arsenal, they definitely got more depth. They're currently in first place. They most likely will win the league this year because they went and got massive depth players and players that are actually going to play and play well up to the statue of what they need from Mikel Arteta. So really right now, we do have to worry a little bit about Chelsea. And yes, I understand we can still finish in the top four with this season. And yes, while that's great, we still need to make it far in the Champions League and possibly the FA Cup, because this season, if we do not lift a trophy, it's definitely a lower season than what we did last year. Because even last year, with how poor we were performing sometimes throughout the months of January and December, we still ended up lifting 2 trophies, where this year we could go a complete season without lifting a trophy, which actually could be detrimental to this club. So I do want to know, though, what do you guys think about Chelsea moving forward? Are they going to be okay, or is there going to be massive issues coming forward in the next season or two? I want to know what you guys think, so comment down below, hit the like button if you enjoyed this stuff, and I will see you in the next video.